Welcome back, everyone. Time to do a little bit of a different comparison, I guess. We're going to be comparing the iPhone 5 against the iPhone 12 and seeing, I guess, which one you should pick up. And this is not going to be one of those. I mean, I'll definitely tell you if you have any brain, the iPhone 12 is definitely the better way to go. But it's still very interesting to see the type of devices you can pick up for both these different costs. And the iPhone 5 you can probably pick up for like $40 in a lot of places. The iPhone 12 you can pick up for pretty much the same price, 750 or 800, over 800 brand new. So choice is yours. I'll find the cheapest ones of I guess both of these. I'll leave like an iPhone 10 or something in the replacement of this. So you can pick them up from there and help support the channel at the same time in the description. Now side by side you can definitely tell the iPhone 5 is a much smaller device in every single dimension. And it's kind of interesting. The iPhone 12 kind of brought back what the iPhone 5 also had, which were the flat sides. Now you can pretty much put the entire iPhone 12 screen in the iPhone 5 and then some. So that's pretty insane to me. Now the iPhone 5, has a 4-inch panel on the front of it, and I'll definitely tell you that light is going to be really annoying. But the panel on the iPhone 5 wasn't really bad, and even when I'm looking at it right now, it's really not that bad if I'm being completely honest. Is it perfect? Not really, but the mixture of the build quality and the premiumness of this phone, as well as the display, it's really not bad. And I can still see why so many people love this type of display because it just looks so nice. I mean, there's just so much going for it, even now. It's just so premium. Although I would not recommend anybody to buy it, it's still pretty impressive what this display had at that time. The 4-inch panel, a lot of bezel on the top and bottom, the home button, but it still looked pretty good. With the iPhone 12, on the other hand, obviously has that nicer, way more beautiful 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel. This is a no-brainer. This is a beautiful screen, and is definitely one of the reasons why this phone is doing so well, because people love the display. It has flat sides on it too, which really makes the bezels, stick out a little bit less, which is nice. The notch up top, but definitely when you look at them side by side, the iPhone 12 by far looks far, better. Now, funny enough, when you roll them to the side, the thickness is about the same. There's not really one that is like way thinner than the other one, which is kind of funny. So if you're trying to find a phone that's way thinner or whatever, you're not really going to find it here. They're about the same thinness, which for the most part. When you flip them to the back, that's when you start to see some other, bigger differences for sure. The iPhone 12 on one hand has a full glass back, where the iPhone 5 on the other hand has an aluminum back with glass sides on the top and bottom. They both have, cameras, I guess, the single camera setup on the iPhone 5, dual camera setup on the iPhone 12. Take it as you will, but I'm pretty sure the iPhone 5 in a way feels a little bit more heavy duty just because of the aluminum. I like it, but the glass back adds a lot more, premiumness to it, so that's another huge asset for this device. So in terms of the outside, pretty much the iPhone 12 wins. Now in terms of the software, this is another side where the iPhone 12 wins. The iPhone 5, completely outdated. I don't think it's getting any more software versions. The iPhone 12, on the other hand, is just getting started. So if you want a phone that's going to last you much longer, the iPhone 12 is a better way to go. Both had iOS. I think this one stopped at iOS 10, and now we're on iOS 14. So this is like 4 years old. Even though it just got an update like last year or 2 years ago, it's still completely outdated for the most part. So in terms of software, the iPhone 12 wins as well. Now, let's go ahead and do a speed test between these phones, because who doesn't want to see a speed test between them? The iPhone 5 had that Apple A7 chip inside of it with 1 GB of RAM, where the iPhone 12, on the other hand, has the Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigs of RAM. So this is going to be a quick one, or it's going to be a long one. So let's go and see which one is going to be the faster one between the two. Okay, so the sunlight was being very annoying, so this is, I guess, the best we got. I zoomed in a little bit more, but let's go ahead and kind of clear all the apps in the background. And it should only take me a couple seconds. You guys remember that on iOS 10? That's kind of how it looked like when you went into the multitasking panel. So let's go and start loading up these apps. Let's go and do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. And I guess I didn't even click on the iPhone 5. It didn't even register, which is pretty insane. Let's go and hop out of here. Let's do App Store. 3, 2, 1. And again, look at just the app opening speeds on the iPhone 12 and how much faster it is. I mean, this is pretty insane to me. And the iPhone 5 did take quite a bit of time to get into it. So let's go and start loading up the camera. 3, 2, 1. And even just to click on it, it looks so much faster on the iPhone 12. Now let's go and open up the settings. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, again, took a little bit of extra time on the iPhone 5, which is okay, but it's still pretty insane to me that there's this type of difference between them. Let's go and hop out. I mean, I have a bunch of these third-party apps we can go and get into. Let's do stack. 3, 2, 1. And again, look at the app opening speed, how long it took on the iPhone 5. And we're already loaded on the iPhone 12. We've been loaded on this. And this one's still taking its time, which is totally okay. And you can see that we will eventually get into it. And definitely the iPhone 12 was far faster there. Let's go and hop out of there. Let's do Fruit Ninja, which I don't even think I have. Let's do Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. And I think the iPhone 5 actually just quitted on me. I don't even know what happened to this device. It just randomly shut off. Yep, I guess the iPhone 5 just totally just got killed. So I don't know what happened. I was at a full battery life. So, I mean, I guess the speed comparison kind of ended a little bit more quickly than I thought. Yep, it fully died. So I guess that pretty much sums up the speed comparison. But typically, what we were expecting and the outcome would have been the iPhone 5 was going to pretty much, not be able to beat the iPhone 12. So I'll try charging this up. It may be a battery issue, but if it is, then we'll just keep going. But let's go and hit on the cameras, I guess. So the iPhone 5 had a single 8 megapixel sensor. The iPhone 12 had a dual camera setup, a 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And again, here's a no-brainer. What I can tell you was with the iPhone 5 camera, it kind of got the job done for the most part. It really wasn't that bad. I think at that time it was pretty good. But in this day and age, because first of all, it doesn't even shoot 4K videos. I don't even think it does 1080p at 60. So that's already pretty outdated. It's also not that great of a sensor. At that time, it wasn't really, it was good at that time, but nowadays it's not really that great. But I think the biggest thing to take away from this specific phone is the lack of multiple sensors. It doesn't have multiple sensors in it. So that's another pretty big thing to keep in mind. But the iPhone 12 pretty much fixes all those things. The iPhone 12 with its additional sensors really adds a lot more capability. You're going to be getting a lot better of a phone from the iPhone 12's camera than the iPhone 5. So the iPhone 12 with that additional ultra wide sensor adds a lot more capability to the whole entire mix. So definitely when it comes down to it, the iPhone 12 for sure wins in the camera department. Now, I guess ending it off with a battery life, the iPhone 5 is definitely going to not outlast the iPhone 12. I didn't do a battery test between them, but you guys just saw that battery is so inconsistent on the iPhone 5s nowadays, and it just will randomly shut off on you. Batteries have degraded over time too, so the iPhone 5's battery isn't quite what it used to be either, so you have to keep that in mind as well. So I'll try to boot this thing up again, but to kind of sum up this comparison, should you pick up an iPhone 5 or should you upgrade from your iPhone 5 to an iPhone 12? Well, this is a no-brainer. The iPhone 5 was a good phone at the time, and maybe even up until like 3 years ago was a pretty good pickup for the most part. But nowadays, it's just not worth it because it's just lacking software updates. The camera quality isn't that great what it used to be, and no premiumness. Really the biggest asset for this device is the premiumness feeling. I mean, the iPhone 5 feels like still a flagship phone. It still feels like a beautiful phone for the most part. The iPhone 12, on the other hand, kind of is the better phone, but it's also one of the best phones you can pick up. I mean, it's a no-brainer. This phone has so much capability behind it. It has a lot going for it. So it's kind of just like a no-brainer in my head. Yes, if you picked up something like an iPhone 10 or 10s, it's probably a really good bit upgrade as well. But if you have to go brand new, the iPhone 12 is the better way to go. But I would always recommend, as I just said, picking up something like an iPhone 11 or iPhone 10R if you don't want to spend all the money for this phone, because the iPhone 11, going from an iPhone 5 to an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 5 to an iPhone 10R is still a humongous upgrade as well. So keep that in mind. So that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.